WCNC. Good place to go to. All right, tonight we want to remind you, weather aware. It's a phrase you're going to hear from us, right?
Yeah, glad we have those options of being inside to have some fun, because
great point.
I don't want to be outside any more than I need to be. That was plenty just walking the dogs.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, you can really feel it. I mean, it makes your throat scratchy. I mean, you could definitely kind of labor a little bit in your breathing with this poor air quality today. Our Mr. Sparky Carolina Camera Network, a lot of haze out there. A lot of folks noticed it right away. And yes, it is from the Canadian wildfires. Remember, there are fires burning all across Canada. This is going to be a summer-long and likely into the autumn issue until we get into the winter and those fires are finally extinguished. Temperatures upper 80s today. We almost touched 90 degrees, but we didn't. For the second day in a row, just 1 degree shy, 89 degrees, but we have 5 so far, which is way behind last year's pace. At this point, we had 22 after what is a very hot June last year. Remember, we hit 100 degrees last year in June. 88 is the record for the most in a year, 8 the fewest. Average for a year, 44. So we've got time to make up some lost ground, and we will over the next 7 days. But we're also going to see the ring of fire set up here, which is the cluster of storms that develop around these big heat domes. We've got a big cluster in the Ohio Valley. This was a derecho that started in Iowa. You see the swath of damage here through Indiana, Illinois, and into Kentucky. That is going to move around the heat dome, which you can clearly see on the temperature map, kind of centered over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. It's going to be pushing east, so that's not only going to bring the heat, but it's going to put us more in the storm track for those storms coming around that northwest flow. So overnight tonight, I do expect a few of these storms to try to make a run at the mountains early tomorrow morning, but the boundaries they leave over, remember, those storms, they weaken, but they push out a weak outflow boundary, which is kind of like a cold front. So around this ring of fire, we call it, the high pressure system to our southwest, we'll be in this track of thunderstorm complexes coming in that northwest flow. So over the next, I'd say really 3 days or so, we'll watch for storms up here and then track them moving into the Carolinas each and every day. Now, the severe weather outlook kind of shows where they are tonight. Tomorrow, that track kind of moves into the western Carolinas, so low to medium risk, with the mountains having the higher risk right now because of the closer proximity to where these are going to form. But the next couple of days, you certainly could see a couple rounds of strong, maybe even severe thunderstorms moving into the region. But in between the storms, though, it's going to be super hot and humid, and that's what fuels these afternoon storms. By far the hottest weather we've seen so far this year. It'll feel like 99 tomorrow with a high of 91. Sunday, Monday, though, we're talking about heat indices approaching 105. That puts us on borderline heat advisory criteria, and for that reason, Sunday, Monday, I definitely want you to stay weather aware, in particular Sunday. It's the first real heat wave, so your body's going to take a while to get used to it. A lot of outdoor activities with the holiday coming really on Tuesday, but it'll be a long holiday weekend for many folks. The skeeter meter, again, at the highest level we've seen. Remember all the rain that we had about a week ago? It is really going to start producing a lot of mosquito activity. In the hot, humid weather, they love it, especially with light winds. Look at the temperatures, way above average until we get to late next week. So our first stretch of really warm weather. Tomorrow, low 90s. It'll feel like it's closer to 100. And again, a 40% chance of some pop-up thunderstorms. Your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Look at that heat on Sunday, 96, but it'll feel like 105. 4th of July right now on Tuesday, we're looking for just some isolated late day storms, temperatures in the low 90s. We really don't see some relief from the heat until the following weekend as temperatures get back closer to average, which is now 90 degrees, guys.
This is it.
It's here.
We're getting into it.
We've been waiting to it. All right. Thank you so much, Brad.